actually, thinking about that connection, what if the scientific kind of developments and discoveries is a kind of a hack of a simulation, and so is the magical, spiritual uh, path of the simulation is a like seemingly completely different path, although they can merge and meet. Um, for like the expert level, for people who've kind of like started to figure out the reality and just started figuring out how they can manifest and they can project, their consciousness, they sort of tap and unlock parts of their brain and become like enhanced individuals and kind of live in a sort of start morphing their own simulation reality. Like they become empowered and break free of the bonds of social constructs and the limits of reality. Um, it's not for everybody. Like you can kind of stay on like the baby levels, like the level ones, level to like beginners, where you're just kind of like walking around like Pac-Man eating apples and getting health, getting health packages and powering up and boosting up, and then someone comes along and knocks you down, and then you start like those are like the lower levels of the simulation. And when you work out how to kind of like get through those levels, you sort of come to these like hack levels and like codes, and you crack the code or break the code or have some kind of profound realization or amazing breakthrough that helps you or people around you or society kind of like progress up the level of consciousness. These are sort of like the hacks, and this is like coming back to the matrix thing, take the red pill or the blue pill, because once you reach that level of hacking, like science or spiritual, you can't really go back. So, but on the other hand, maybe like with the painful experiences that you go through and survive and become stronger, because of that resilience that you're building to life's challenges, the conditions of the game become more harder, and you get thrown more fucking challenges that you know what I mean, you need to be able to like master to be able to move up. Now, I think what in my case is that I massively did the speedy kind of updrift of my simulation in a matter of years, and I kind of like boosted up to the expert level quite quickly in a kind of hack way, crack the code way, and seemed to be doing all the right things at all the right times to kind of like boost my consciousness and my awareness, and like I was like hacking my own reality, and I was there. But then this like extremely painful, challenging period of mine recently has left me sort of like a bit feeling a bit like weak and vulnerable, and not having enough, like feeling like I can't cope or have the capacity or keeping up with the expert level challenges that I was like essentially meant to face. Or maybe these are my essential challenges that I'm meant to face once I've gotten this far in the simulation. Um, because it's like I feel like my consciousness has come down, or I've gone, my vibration's gone down to like, the beginner's level, where I'm just like starting to build the fundamental blocks of, I don't know, survival and coping, if you want to say. But so I'm copping the extreme challenges, but it's like I've stunted myself to the baby level, which is probably why I find it really hard to actually cope with like little adversities now, whereas before I was way more resilient and found challenges like quite invigorating. And I need to, so I've kind of, it's like a snakes and ladders game, if you will. I went up the ladders really quick near to the the end mark, and then I've just come down this massive long snake, down, 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 and I'm just like, oh fuck, like I did all that hard work and like in the simulation and like improved my life and like progressed so much and like succeeded so much, only for it to all come by chance or fate or luck or just unlucky, come back way, 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 way down, have to start at the beginning again. So it's like I'm rerunning the game. But maybe like knowing what I know would make the next going through the simulation levels a bit more interesting, or maybe there was some things in the game that I missed, or I was supposed to go through that I jumped ahead of, and now I'm going back down. Like, for instance, at certain times over the past 2 years, I have met someone who has a huge, huge connection to my past in terms of like 15, 20 years ago, my past in Sydney. Like the alignments of the people and places and periods and, very specific commonalities with the like kind of old crowd that I used to run in when I was like 15. So it's a little bit scary actually, like the amount of connections that are happening. So maybe there was some things that I missed back then that I wasn't meant to go through or experience, or people I was meant to meet. But then it's like, where the fuck is the free will in all this? Like, this sounds very like predestined, kind of like a program, like a rerun. Yeah, like simulation program. The cool thing though is that when you become aware of this kind of thing, you can choose to go either way with it. You can choose to, go along the path and follow the alignments. Or you can choose to rebel against it and be like, fuck it, I'm not going to fucking do what my path has set out for me to do. I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do and be spontaneous and be like a fucking random as unpredictable contradiction of a fucking life. And, it's satisfying being able to put your foot down and just be like, enough. No, I'm not going to repeat this pattern of what simulation is feeding me or giving me or uploading to me. I'm going to go fucking completely wonky and do the most randomest thing and make the weirdest decisions out of nowhere. And see what happens. And I think when you do that and you become like an anomaly, I think it pisses off the people who fucking created the simulation, because they're like, no, we've got all this laid out. This is the program. We need to stick to it. And you're just like, fuck the fucking program. Fuck destiny. Fuck fate. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. And I don't know what I'm going to fucking do, but I know I'm going to be the one to decide when to do it and how to do it and who to do it with.